Hey everybody, Morgana Galaxia here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're with me today. I am getting on to do some tarot reading, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today. For this reading, I want to do something different. It's going to be non-political. So I kind of am a fan of Harry and Meghan. Okay, I love them. I think they're adorable. And so I've been kind of following along with all the drama with the royal family, right? Harry and William and the Queen and so forth and so on. Of course, as you know, Prince Philip has passed, right? So now there's going to be a funeral. Are they going to walk next to each other? How is their relationship going? So I've been all over that. So I want to do a reading today on some of those questions. So I want to take a look at the Queen, see how she's doing. And I want to take a look at Harry and William's relationship, how they're doing, and then probably Harry and Meghan. So that's what today is. It's an interlude, all about the royal family. So let's get started. Let's start out with the Queen. So Prince Philip has died, married over 70 years. What an accomplishment. And you just can't help thinking when people who are kind of this old, when one passes, a lot of times the second one kind of goes pretty quick. It's like it's faded, that kind of thing. Okay, so anyways, let me focus here. The Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth. How is she doing? How is she doing? How is she doing, Queen Elizabeth? A lot of things. Obviously, Philip's death, this funeral, her grandsons, her own age, and she must be really facing her mortality right now. Show us the Queen, please. All right. Put on my trusted glasses. Let's bring it down. Queen Elizabeth. Let's see how she's doing. Oh, okay. So, Queen Elizabeth. So we're starting out here with the Nine of Pentacles. And this really is sort of the perfect card for Queen Elizabeth, because this is all about affluence, living in the lap of luxury. If, this is the queen living in a gilded palace. Absolutely. Queen of your domain, wealthy. She obviously has her duty in all her services and she works, right? But by all means, she has all the leisure time she could possibly want. Okay, so they're flush. So this is basically telling us this queen, she's a queen. This is basically telling us that this is the queen. She's super wealthy, palaces, wealth, luxury, affluence. She's a Queen of England. That is what it is. What is her challenge? Goodness gracious, we have the Three of Pentacles. Oh my. So her challenge right now is that there's a lack of cooperation going on in the royal family right now. It's that William and Harry rift. It's problems with Meghan. It might be problems with Kate and William. There's typically, the royal family is like a unit, the firm, right? They are a functioning machine in a certain aspect. And this being their challenge card is telling us it's breaking down. Some relationships are breaking down. There's a lack of support there. There's not cooperation in building something together anymore. So I think in addition to, obviously, losing Philip is losing her life partner, a tremendous form of support. definitely would see Harry and William here as well. Their relationship breaking down, that's a lack of support and cooperation within the family. So yeah, that is definitely the theme of her challenges here, is things that should be working in harmony together are no longer, and they're not creating something bigger for everybody. Okay, so what is in the sky, what's inevitable for the Queen to face? And we have the Temperance card. And, interestingly, this is funny because to me, this is a very descriptive card of the Queen. It's all about temperance, right? She's very moderate, very humble, very even-keeled, right? It's all about civic duty, honor, maintaining. I'll go ahead and bring this up. Maintaining the status quo, right? Maintaining the norms and traditions of the monarchy. She's just been probably the most stable, consistent, temperate leader ever. And I think we understand, we've gotten a little peek now and again here and there, that this aspect of her, which is really an intrinsic part of the woman's personality, has not always served her. This is what made her reticent to honor Diana, right? Which makes her maybe a little too distant from her children. Maybe she wasn't as motherly or as involved in personal relationships. I feel this is her hands-off approach. This is the distance that she puts between her and other people, as she would argue she should, because she's the queen, right? When you're the queen, you just can't be... There's this formality that she's always adhered to, whether you agree or disagree with that. As the queen, there is nobody else who would advocate for that more, right? Okay, so coming face to face with that, I think the feeling that I'm getting here is that this whole situation between those two sons, their father, Prince Charles, Diana, the Queen, how the family treated Diana, how those boys grew up without her, dynamics with their father. I think that the Queen's hands-off approach to that, avoiding that over sentimentality, avoiding the drama, not getting in it, that's going to come home to roost a little bit for her. She's going to have to come face to face with how sometimes covering things up and stoically moving on doesn't allow certain things to heal and doesn't allow certain things to right themselves. And I think that she's going to have to face her own role in the dynamics of this situation that is manifesting now again with this family spat. So I think that's very much on her mind and where this reading seems to be going so far. Okay, so foundationally, the Five of Wands. Look at that. That's all the infighting. Everyone's fussing and fighting at each other. And yeah, this is William and Harry, but not just. Andrew is in here, right? He's going through some problems. I think I'm feeling a lot of staffing issues, right? Meghan Markle and all those, super upper crust British elites who weren't quite sure how to deal with an American like her. I think that created a lot of tension and drama and dynamic in the sort of staffing arena of the royal family. I just think there was a lot of partisan infighting, a lot of different personalities clashing, not just William and Harry, although they're there. But this is telling us, yeah, a lot of tumult, right? There's just a lot of dynamics going on with this family right now. And this is the very foundation of... We're talking about the Queen here. So that stoicism she holds all these years, it can't stop this kind of thing. Okay. energy coming from the past that's, impacting this question that's rolling into the future. We have the magician, right? It's magician. There we go. So the energy of the past. So the magician for the queen. So the magician, obviously, this is the manifester. This is someone who can make things happen. All the tools are there to manifest your greatest desires. So, okay, with the queen, duh, she has every resource available to her. Every expert is available to her. She has the tools to make whatever she wants to happen for the most part, right? There's some things obviously she can't do, things that are impossible, but she can make happen what she wants to happen. She has the power to direct, alter, navigate through, sort of direct the energy of whatever she needs to, of this question regarding her family, for sure. She's the head honcho. She calls the shots. And she always has, even over Prince Charles. So she's the boss. She makes things happen, and I think that is part of what's feeding this question with the queen. And what is the energy she's going to be moving into? Interesting. The Lovers. So obviously, considering she just lost her husband, this is maybe in a bit of an unfortunate card. Okay, but what the Lovers is telling us is that she's going to be moving into an area where relationships are going to be really important, but she's going to be making commitments. She's going to be partnering. She's going to be, for lack of a better phrase, getting into bed with someone, right? But not for sex. This is a partnership. It's a commitment. Okay, and I'll just tell you, the first thought that's coming to my mind is her son, Prince Charles. She is going to be making a commitment with him and forming a partnership with him for him to begin taking over her role. Okay, I'm not saying she's abdicating, and I'm not saying anything other people haven't said already, but this is telling me that she and another person, and I'm positing Prince Charles, are going to form, they all obviously have a relationship, but they're going to form a different kind of partnership, an agreement, a joining of some kind. And I think that, again, is him taking over more and more of those duties, starting to step into his role as the king. And that is kind of where she's going, which is really interesting. So, okay, that's definitely there. Let's go down a layer. And I'm definitely feeling a Harry Meghan lovers layer there as well, especially since, we're looking at in the rest of this reading some of the dysfunction in the family, some of the partisanship that's been going on, and those lovers have really been the catalyst of all of that. They've been the beginning of it. It's all been a reflection and responses to, and of that couple. And obviously not just the royal family. I mean, the whole thing obviously is that the British press just basically tortured that couple, and the palace did not protect them, did not support them in this barrage of lies and attacks against them. A lot of infighting going on, and still going on. That Oprah interview, oh my God. But for the queen, which is what this question is about, her focus, okay? And again, it's this temperance, she's only going to dive so far into these emotional issues. Her focus is going to be on her position as queen and moving that, transitioning that into Prince Charles. So it doesn't, according to this reading, look like she's going to be focused on the family dynamics, even though that is her foundation and her challenge. So, okay, there's some avoidance. There's some avoidance there from the queen. All right, so I'm going to leave that there. And let's move on to William and Harry. Princes William and Harry. You know, people love them so much because we remember when Diana died. Well, some of us do of a certain age. But when Diana died, oh, those poor boys. I feel like the whole world's heart broke for them. Walking behind her coffin. Those boys grew up without their mother. And, you know, from what I understand, and then raised by their father, who maybe didn't have maybe all the skills that he should have had. And then, you know, some years later, he marries the woman he had an affair with that was the problem in their parents' marriage. So we know all this, right? Okay, so the boys. Those two boys. They were close, and now they are not. Show us how things are going for Harry and Will, huh? Will and Harry. Let's bring it down. Oh. Okay. Okay. So here we are starting out with the Two of Cups. Oh my God, you guys. Here they are, tight, loving brothers. I mean, a true emotional bond between these two. They have a shared experience, a shared loss, a shared upbringing, and they were very tight, very cooperative, very supporting of each other. They have a really, really strong bond here. Okay, a really strong bond. This is the core of these two brothers right here, this mutual love and respect for each other. What is their challenge is the Four of Pentacles. Oh, so their challenge has been the rigidity, the formality of their lives. Everything has been scripted for them. All decisions have been made. Their ranks, their positions have already been clear. Oh, here goes. One moment. Sorry about that. My cat. Always got to deal with that. So, again, with the challenge here with this Four of Pentacles. So this is, you know, I'm going to bring this back up. So this is the sort of hunkering down, that holding your own really close, holding your resources tight, you know, hunkering down. And how that's translating for me now with this question is, it's just the formality, the rigidity of all the roles that they have to play. You know, William going to be king, and they have to act this way and follow these rules and the decorum, and they can't do this, and they can't do that, and they can't marry these kind of people, and they can't move to those kind of places. That conservativeness, okay, is what's challenging these brothers right now. I think there's one who is constricting while the other is expanding, to put it really, really simply. And I think that this is a constriction card. This Four of Pentacles is all about constricting, tightening down, battening the hatches, protecting yourself, minding what's yours, being smart, prudent, thinking things through before you take action, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it, is that's the challenge, is they haven't had the freedom to support each other in their life goals and their life visions, because they don't get to have those as royals. Okay, so what is in the sky? What are they inevitably going to have to face here? And here we have the Fool. Okay, and I'm going to say, this could be both of them. My first thought, of course, is Harry, because, I mean, he moved to California. That's a huge deal. He left Britain. I mean, his brother is going to be King of England, and he lives in California. So, whole new journey, just completely life-changing change of life path. Just, you can clearly see how Harry has embarked on something completely different, completely new, fully unknown. He's got a tool bag with him, but he doesn't know what kind of challenges he's going to be facing. You know, he's kind of out there going it alone. Yes, he has his spouse with him, but in the context of the royal family here, he's kind of out there doing this. I mean, super brave. He must be scared out of his wits. He doesn't know what life in America is going to be like. And now having a mixed race wife, that's an entry into all those issues. America's got some serious race issues. Okay, so that's for sure Harry. But it's William too, right? I mean, not yet. Not yet. Well, this is mostly Harry for sure. Yes, William's going to be embarking on a journey when he becomes king or with his elevation to heir apparent, but that's a bit of a smoother, not quite of a dramatic change, and not yet. So, yeah, this is Harry right here, and that is what the brothers are going to have to face. Like he said, they're on different paths, right? They're on different paths. And so foundational to this question, we have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords. So I'm feeling the issues around Harry a lot easier here. So for Harry, this is reiterating this journey, that these are the fears and the anxieties and the problems and the stress that come along with embarking on a new journey like that. Again, not knowing where he's going, dark skies, a little foreboding. There's a lot of fear and anxiety around that. So that is there in this card. But I think it's mirrored really closely by William. William losing that key relationship and support of his brother, not just demotion or anything. Like, the man left the country, right? He's really not there. And with COVID and everything, I mean, he just hasn't been there. And so I think William is also feeling that tension, the anxiety, the stress, the betrayal, the injury of that loss. And now he, without his brother there, is feeling like he also is journeying a bit into the dark unknown, kind of by himself. He doesn't have his bro, He does have his wife, of course, and a family. I'm asking about these brothers. He feels alone. He's feeling, I think we know, alone, betrayed, left adrift, not supported, just kind of cut loose. Yeah, he's not feeling good. Okay. The energy in the past that is flowing through this reading into the future. Okay, past energy, we have the Ace of Cups. So again, this shows the emotional bond of these two brothers. And these moons are so lovely. This shows us, all relationships, they go through phases. They shift, they change, they cycle. But the wonderful message of a card like this, especially with these moons, is it always comes full circle back to the beginning. So whatever changes and shifting they're going through, hopefully they can bring it back to a place of unity as they were in the beginning. But again, this is telling us the emotional charge of their relationship, the strength of the bond that they have, the power of the emotions that they're going through. So this isn't some little argument. This is a huge drama for these two, but this reminding us the source with them is love. Is love and unity and brotherhood and all those wonderful things. And things change. They always do, but hopefully they can cycle back to a better beginning. Okay, so where are they going to be going into? We have again the Nine of Pentacles, the luxury and affluence card. So Harry's back in Britain right now for the funeral. It must be, it must be interesting over a year now that he's back in Frogmore Cottage, back in the palace, back in that royal environment of extreme affluence and eliteness. So he's gone back home. That's where he is. But for the two brothers, as far as an outcome card or what their future is going to be looking like, this would be a great card. This would tell us that they will be able to, it's a card of, sort of de-stressing, relaxation. You work hard, you can earn a lot of money and become really affluent. But what is the reason you're doing that? So you can enjoy the luxury, enjoy the freedom you have, enjoy the finer things. So yes, for the two brothers, I feel like it feels like a bit of a coming home again, like they're going to come back together again. They're going to feel enriched when they have each other in their lives again. But it definitely feels like home. I really, I think I'm going to leave it at this is Harry returning to Britain. I think he's back in his own environment. He's back in his own environment. And let me see if I can pull one final card, something meaningful, please, Spirit, to wrap this up or to explain this Nine of Pentacles. What does this Nine of Pentacles mean for Harry and William? All right. What does Nine of Pentacles mean for Harry and William? King of Cups. King of Cups. So this would tell me there's a reconciliation. Now, it's not telling me when. It's clearly not going to be this coming up weekend. I'm not saying this year or whenever. King of Cups, though, maybe it could be when there's a king on the throne. That could be the timing there. Perhaps when there's a king on the throne, and I don't know which king, okay? Philip, William. I feel like when there's a king, a friendly, loving, emotional king, a just king, someone who's fair, right? Someone who can control their emotions. When this king is on the throne, I think these brothers are going to find themselves in their family garden together again. So I guess to summarize where I'm going with this is really strong bond, serious break in their tie, but because their bond is so strong and their family and of the shared experience and the love they have for each other, they will eventually come back together. They'll come back together. This is a very loving card. And I think this is a hint when there's maybe a king on the throne, which is interesting given the reading we just did on the Queen and how her temperance, right? Her hands-off approach to some of these relationship situations maybe hasn't been the most helpful, and it's going to take that change to trickle down into a change for the brothers. Okay, I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to do one last reading on Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan. How are they doing in California together? How are they doing as a couple? How are they doing as a couple in California together? Let's get a good shuffle on these. All right. Let's bring it down. Oof. Okie dokie. Okay, so let's start out here. Harry and Meghan, how they doing in California? The Tower. So yeah, serious card. They absolutely have gone through and are kind of still in their Tower moment. Harry's relationship and Harry and Meghan's relationship with the royal family. The Oprah interview, right? I think this is the Oprah interview right here. Boom. They blew it up. Okay. They blew it up. They blew up the house, you guys. I'm going to bring this up. The royal family is by no means happy about this Oprah interview they did together. It was hot. Okay. I think you know where I'm going. Boom. Right there. I mean, I'm a fan. I think they're just the most adorable couple, right? And I was watching that interview like, I can't believe they just said that. I don't know if they can come back from that. The family is going to be just like, whoa. Yeah. So, yeah, it very much felt like, and I think that's what this card is saying here, very much felt like, how could they ever come back from that? Clearly, some of the things that they said, multiple things they said, would have just been completely unacceptable to the royal family. Burning bridges. How do you mend that kind of damage? I mean, I could see it while I was watching the thing. So, and I can't help but feel that it took Harry a little bit by surprise, but I don't know. Okay, so what is their challenge? Their challenge is the Four of Cups. So they've had some difficult choices to make, and they're continuing to make. Really difficult, not all that great, right? Their challenge has been, how do they separate as best they can from their former life? How do you make a life in California? How are they going to earn money? What kind of job are they going to have? How are they going to raise Archie? You know, how are they going to be Americans? How do you acclimate an English prince into LA? You know, a lot of tough choices, not a lot of great ones. I feel like, I think we know that when they initially were trying to make that break as senior royals, that they were wanting to just step down and be, so not senior royals, but whatever they call the lower level royals, the lesser royals, part-time royals. We'll live in Canada because that's one of the Commonwealth countries, and we'll support the Queen, and we'll work for the Queen, and we'll do this thing, but we're just not going to be up in Buckingham Palace every day, right? That, I think, was their intent. Their plan was to scale back. And instead, they got booted the hell out. So now they've got some choices to make that are very difficult. Very difficult. Not a lot of good options. Probably especially for Harry. This is America. This isn't Britain. He probably has some bozos coming up to him at the gas station going, you're Prince. Who knows what kind of harassment he can get in LA, right? Okay, so what is in the sky? What are they inevitably going to have to face? And we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords. So what are they inevitably going to have to face? God, where do I want to go on this? Could be the Queen. They inevitably are going to have to face Queen Elizabeth again after this interview. Harry is doing it now. There's that. As far as Harry and Meghan themselves, this could be what they're inevitably, this could be Meghan, right? So what they're going to have to face is, what did Meghan do with that sword of hers? That's communication. That would be like her part in that interview. She did some damage, right? She made some accusations. She made some challenges. Was that an act of war? Are they going to have to inevitably come to face with the things that she said in that interview? Well, that's kind of what's going on. Foundationally, we have the Three of Cups. So foundationally, this is a great card. This means that they've got some support. They really do. They have got friends. This is friendship. Lots of support here. And this is a very feminine card. I'm seeing here Meghan and her girlfriends, her sisters, right? Her friendships that are really there supporting her through this. And I think that also covers Harry as well. It'll take time, but foundationally, they're going to have a bit of support in LA. And it's going to come in through Meghan and her friends and her relationships. But Harry is going to benefit from that support as well. So they've got some ties. They've got some ties and some friendships, which is really good. So in the past, we have the Queen of Cups. Anyway, cat issues again. So what's in the past? We have the Queen of Cups. And my thought, boom, right here, Diana, okay? The Queen of Cups. So she wasn't a queen, obviously. She was a princess, Harry's mother. But this is pointing to the influence that she still has on Harry and on this relationship. So it appears a lot of Harry's reactions, the way he is protecting Meghan, willing to move out of country with her, just all the things that they kind of talked about in that interview, right? This is Princess Diana is really hovering over that situation. It's her loss that Harry is still struggling to heal from. It's her example as a loving parent and as a family, as the way she approached family and the way she approached mothering and the way she bonded with her children and did all that sort of emotional bonding is also showed Harry the kind of family he would want to have, the kind of wife he would want to have, the kind of husband he would want to be. He knows what it's like to nurture, to care, to sacrifice for somebody, to be protective of somebody. He didn't want Meghan to go through the same things Diana did, right? And he saw that history happening again. Suicidal. I don't know if Diana was suicidal, but she was bulimic. So there were some emotional issues there. The struggle, not just Meghan and not just Diana, but every incoming princess has had with the royal family. Think Fergie and so forth. So Diana's personality and history and the lessons that she taught and the example that she was is all over this couple right here. Harry wants to be the husband his father never was. He wants to protect his wife like nobody protected his mother. He wants to be a nurturing parent like he had with his mother. So this is where I'm going with this Queen of Cups. This energy from the past, absolutely moving all the way through this question with this couple and into their future. Okay, and speaking of the future, the energy they're going to be moving into, Ace of Swords. So this swords can be a number of things: truth, justice, warfare, attack, okay, communication, messages. There's a lot that the swords can represent. So for these two, I think what this is telling us is they're in self-protection mode, and they're probably going to stay that way. I think they're going to be guarded. They're going to be maybe not on the attack or on a war footing, but they're going to be very careful about, they weren't careful with that Oprah interview. Let's just say this is the communication. So the energy they're moving into, there's going to be some tough communication ahead. They're going to have to hold their ground, have their barriers, kind of fight for themselves. They're going to have to fight for themselves as a couple and defend themselves as a couple and sort of fight for what's right for them as a pair, fight for what they're owed, there's going to be some fighting. So I don't mean between them as a pair, but I think as a unit, they've still got a lot of stuff that they need to cut through, a lot of things they need to figure out mentally, a lot of challenges that they're going to have to be brave and face. So they're not done. Their drama, unfortunately, is not done. And a lot of it's going to play out here in the United States. So, I think, when they as a couple start trying to build a life in the United States, there's going to be a lot of that kind of fighting legality type of issues as well. Hammering through contracts, figuring out salaries, how are they going to get, what's their income going to looking like, legal issues, business contracts, things of that nature. I'm feeling that with this card as well, as how they're going to be here in the United States. Harry's never lived like this before, and he's not going to be royal here in the United States, right? It's going to be the closest to having a regular life this man's ever going to come, it's ever going to happen to him. So yeah, it's all a lot of communication, mental issues, challenges, being brave and fighting through their crap. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm going with them. Again, I just want to hit again, Princess Diana is over this couple. Her impact on Harry in all those different ways cannot be overestimated. Fortunately, I think Meghan is going to bring some friendships into their orbit that are really going to be supportive for them, and Harry too, of course. So things aren't easy. Things are not easy. They're still experiencing their tower moment. So I think doing it with as much grace as possible, not counting that Oprah interview. Okay, you guys, that was my diversion, my vacation into the realm of the royal family. If you stuck around to watch this tarot reading with me, I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I will be back with you right away with some more political readings, okay? Take care, everybody. Bye.